Hello, and welcome to the Daily Debrief Download, an audio series taking you through the breaking news and biggest stories from the Oceanographic newsroom. I'm Rob Hutchins, news editor here at Oceanographic magazine, and in this episode, I'll be leading us on a deeper dive into just one story from today's top headlines. Now, today's story takes us north, about as north as we can go, to the Arctic, where ocean explorers have just reached a significant milestone in their mission to map the entire world's sea floor by mapping out 1.4 million square kilometers of the Arctic Ocean seabed. It's an achievement that those working on the mission have called an unprecedented step towards their goal to have the ocean sea floor mapped out in full by 2030. Since the project launched in 2017, never before has such a swathe of ocean seafloor, one 3 times the size of Sweden, been mapped out in such a high level of detail. So, how was this all achieved? Well, doing anything in the Arctic Ocean poses its own challenges. Perennial sea ice covers large swathes of the region, while the extreme weather conditions have traditionally limited any activity in the waters there, let alone data collection. But armed with pioneering new innovation in seafloor mapping, groundbreaking technology, and a strength in international partnerships, the team at Seabed 2030, an ocean exploration project funded by the Nippon Foundation, were able to overcome the elements. As a result, these ocean cartographers were able to map out an area of Arctic Ocean seafloor in a level of detail unseen before. The achievement now makes a significant contribution to the 25% of the ocean seafloor now mapped out by Seabed 2030. It's hoped that the advances made in the Arctic Ocean will also play a big role in the mission's endeavor to complete its ocean mapping over the next 5 years. So, why is mapping out the ocean seabed such an important mission for researchers? Doing so would significantly improve our understanding of the ocean. Currently, many navigational products rely on data recorded way back in the 19th century, when rowing boats used lines and lead weights to take whatever measurements they could. Updating this data will ensure ships use routes that are safe for generations to come. This will prove particularly important as swathes of the Arctic Ocean begin to clear of their ice cover, opening up shipping routes that previously just weren't there. Not only this, but with a mapped-out ocean, researchers will be able to better monitor how marine life and habitats change over time, gathering accurate data on the impact of major influences on its biodiversity, such as climate change. It's also expected that this data will enable scientists to make more accurate global prediction models, enhancing our ability to forecast weather, climate, and even events like tsunamis and their impact zones. But there's also one more, rather large, conversation it will contribute greatly to: a decision on the deep seabed mining. This is a controversial and divisive subject that centers on current discussions around extracting metals found across swathes of the deep ocean seafloor. So what role will mapping have to play here? It's Seabed 2030's position that knowing the seafloor's shape will not only be fundamental for understanding things like ocean circulation, but to ensure the sustainable management of its resources, including the fragile marine ecosystems that it hosts. Scientists have told us that we have less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage from climate change. Mapping the ocean's seafloor will therefore empower the world to make critical decisions that will determine the future of the planet. Seabed 2030's data will therefore provide vital information towards the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development and the UN Sustainable Development Goal 14 to conserve and sustainably use the ocean, seas, and marine resource for sustainable development. Put simply, it's a case of we can't manage what we don't know, so getting a deeper understanding of the planet we live on will be critical to forming a better relationship with it. If you'd like to learn more about this story or other stories on deep sea exploration, head to the Oceanographic newsroom. This has been the Daily Debrief Download. I've been Rob Hutchins. Thank you for listening.